talking unless y'all giving me land and 2,000 or more every week. You hear me?
I'm not talking. Not unless y'all giving me likes, okay? And 2,000 or more subscribers every week until we hit 100K. You hear me? Okay. Well, listen. I'm here for us to chat about Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I was going to do this at the end of my previous video, but I ended up getting that Diddy verdict. And I said, let me wrap this review up. So let me just come and, dive in and just see what's going on and just peek around. And that's what I was doing. So this is the portion that I wanted to come back and bring to you guys, because just the other day, Portia, or not so much as Portia, but Phaedra, we learned, is going to be doing a sit down with Jason Lee. And he kind of talked about the situation that happened a few years ago at the reunion regarding the lies that were told about Kandi, Portia, all of that, right? And Phaedra had some things to say. And I want us to go ahead and check that out. And then we have to tap into Britt, Eady, and her speaking on the situation with Shamea and why she felt like she was in the right for some of the things that she said, okay? So please make sure as you're coming into the video, you're liking up the video, okay? You're also subscribing to the channel if you're new. Hey, bitch. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to hop over here to one of my favorite IG pages, which is the Bravo Shade Room. And we're going to get into it. So let's check out what Phaedra had to say.
But now you're back in the show with Portia.
Yeah. I mean, what's crazy is I was punished for something no one even saw me do.
Uh-huh.
It's like telephone.
Right.
But, it is what it is.
Yeah, but now you're back with Portia.
Yeah, I'm back.
And now you're friends.
I mean, well, we really...
Well, I will take this, Phaedra. I have to stop you right there. I have to be very clear and say that, I understand that you may feel like you were punished for things that no one saw you do, but the amount of remorse you tried to give Portia immediately following that reunion was enough for us to believe that you did what she said that you did. Portia was caught completely off guard when you sat up there and tried to play it out to be a situation where she received a cease and desist from Candi's team or whatever. Like, you really had a whole scheme to go along with it, ma'am. I have to say. So you looked guilty, and we believed that you were guilty. Bravo believed it, and therefore they punished you. I feel like the best thing that you could do, being back on the show and wanting to get possibly in the good graces of the fans, in my personal, would be for you to just take some form of accountability. You did that, whatever, apologize. Buffy, done with it, okay? That's what you could do, but let's keep going.
We obviously, that bothered me. Obviously, it was very, somewhat hurtful. But at the end of the day, I really love Portia. I mean, we have always, gotten along perfectly. And so even after that moment, we didn't say, oh, I'm never speaking to you again. I mean, because at that moment, I knew I wasn't happy in the job already. And
Girl, stop fucking lying, okay? I'm just going to be real clear. Stop lying, because if they was going to let you do another year of that, your unhappy ass would have sat up there and continued to collect them checks. So don't even, cut it out.
I knew it was time for me to leave this job.
Girl, they always say that to make themselves feel better, don't it? I'm sorry, Phaedra, I can't get with that. I can't rock out with that. You probably didn't like the fact that your life was on display, knowing that your damn husband was going to go to the federal prison, right? You may not have liked that. That may have felt uncomfortable, but again, you were already previously unhappy, but you continue to show up on the show.
But unfortunately, sometimes when, if you can't make a decision for yourself, God will make a decision for you.
But now you're back in the show with Portia.
Yeah. I mean, what's crazy is I was punished for something. Decision for yourself, God will make a decision for you. And so the decision was made. And, I have never had a better 7 years in my life.
You were gone 7 years?
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean,
wait, Phaedra, you took the hit. You took the hit for America. For what? I was so mad at you for sitting there and letting the charades happen in front of all of us.
But they didn't show what was really said.
Clearly.
What was said?
I mean, because that's the contract. You know, and sometimes you just got to realize, okay.
I'm going to just stay within the four corners.
Yeah, I mean, because I know better and I'm trained, and so I'm held to a higher standard than some of my colleagues because they know I know better. And so sometimes when you're a little smarter than the average bear, it doesn't always help you.
Okay.
Vision for yourself.
I'm sitting here with a litigator, so let me bring up my briefs. This is what happened. I remember Portia had the really short hairdo that day, and she was going on and crying about how you told her information, and you sat there, and I will never forget your face. You were beat for the guys, and you sat there and just wrote it out, and Candy played up this whole thing that Candy could not believe what was being said about her, which we're now hearing more about the bedroom as time has kind of progressed, and the world has become more accepting of people's bedrooms being different.
Yeah.
You don't have to say anything if you don't want to, but you gave a lot of grace. Again, this is another example. Why?
You know,
Got it. I'm sitting here with a litigator, so let me.
Yeah, Phaedra. I still call BS, and the reason I do call that BS is you're trying to say because that's the contract, but when you were no longer tied or held to a contract for many a years, you still didn't come out and tell what you were feeling like they didn't say the whole portion of that was said, which would potentially vindicate you in your eyes. So, I feel like if you're not going to tell it all or whatever, just tell people to stop asking you about it. I don't want to speak to that. I'm in a better place. I'm in a different place in my life. When we talk, please don't ask me those questions because I'm not going to answer it. I'm just going to sit there and look at you. Right? Y'all let me know your thoughts about it. Now, Portia did get down in the comments and she addressed Phaedra, as you can see here. Right? So what she tells Phaedra is this. Phaedra, you already apologized at the reunion and apologized after for telling me the lie. Furthermore, I have already taken accountability with Candy for repeating what you claimed she said. Let's move forward by truly learning from past mistakes. Okay, so Portia like, I done got enough heat from the fans already. What you're not gonna do is send the fans back my way and make it seem like I was the one that was lying. I took accountability for my part. Okay, and you did lie. All right. You said Candy said that when you know Candy didn't even say that. All right. So let's be clear. That's what those ladies got going on. Okay. Portia said, let me clear my name up real quick because you're not going to have me in this foolishness here, honey. So that's what's going on. But let us go ahead and get into more. Leave your thoughts about that situation down below. Next up, I do want us to tap into a conversation between Jessie Woo and Britt Eady. Britt Eady had some things to say. She wanted to get off her chest. And I want us to tap into that. So you guys know on the previous episode, this Sunday's episode, there was a time where Shamea and Britt Eady had a conversation, and it was more so about Britt telling Portia about text messages that Shamea allegedly showed her, right? Shamea tells her, you're lying. That's not true. Whatever the case is, okay? Shamea then goes on to talk about Britt taking shots and getting completely bare and naked, okay, at that. And then, Britt decides to speak on Shamea's daughter, okay, saying, did you go check on your daughter? Instead of going over there taking shots with such and such, did you go check on your daughter? Because I'm believing that you were pretty much lying about the situation when it came to your daughter and her condition, right? Which still leaves me in a place where I'm like, who the hell do you think you are? Who do you think you are for somebody to be lying to, really? Okay. So with that being said, Jessie Woo did hop over here on social media. And she has some things to say, which I feel was a natural reaction from a lot of us. I don't understand why Britt felt the need to bring up Shamea's daughter at all, insinuating that Shamea was lying about her daughter's illness. Shamea has amazing self-control because baby, okay, baby, she would have had to wear her out. Right. So then Britt says Shamea doesn't get to call me a whore all season long, imply I'm an addict, bully me in every media outlet, come for my marriage, and try to get the public to hate me because she is a liar. What no one's but What no one sees is Shamea uses that storyline to gain sympathy from the fans. When she weaponized her child's condition and knows no one can say anything, but no one talks about the made up story she has put out in the media, dragging my name every chance she gets. Brit, baby, I have to disagree with you. Now, I completely understand if you feel like fuck her, right? Completely understand that. However, as far as her calling, implying that you're an addict, no. Kelly did that. You need to blame Kelly for those things because she put that narrative out there, right? Then you said come for your marriage. I don't recall Shamea coming for your marriage. What did she do to come for your marriage? I don't think y'all remind me because I don't recall her coming for the marriage. And to try to get the public to hate me because she's a liar. No, the public was already feeling a way about you. And the public felt the way about you because of you. And if the public hated you, it was more so because of the situation with you and Kenya. For you to put all of that on Shamea, I have to strongly disagree with you. Okay. Then she goes on to say, what no one sees is Shamea uses that storyline to gain sympathy from the fans. I don't think she uses it to gain sympathy from the fans. In my personal, it wasn't like it was her entire storyline. It's things that she was going through and things that she's going to consistently go through, dealing with a mom that has certain conditions that her daughter has, right? I feel like it's a moment for her to educate people that may not be aware, such as yourself, right? But then also to be relatable to people that may be dealing with situations similar to what Shamea has going on. You feel what I'm saying? So for you to try and say that she weaponizes her daughter condition, that's another angle that you're taking, that if I was Shamea, yeah, self-control would be lacking. It would definitely be lacking for sure. And then she says, but no one talks about the made up stories she has put out in the media, dragging. What were the made up stories? I don't recall those. I reported on a lot. I do not remember her making up stories about you. The only thing she may have said, I will say, is that you were talking about her daughter. She made it seem as though you said something directly about her daughter, like your daughter is, I don't even want to say that about somebody's child, but not smart, whatever, right? That's how she made it seem like it was a direct something towards her daughter. But you did bring her daughter up. No matter how much the people may try and twist it, shake it, whatever it is, because y'all not feeling Shamea, because her and Portia on the house, or Shamea ain't who she cracked up to be, whatever the fuck y'all want to say to make y'all feel good, it don't fit here. She brought the lady daughter up, period. And I can't agree with that. I'm sorry. So I don't think that makes sense. But let's continue to go because maybe Britta makes sense in other, other comments, right? So she goes on. Somebody says, no, Brit, you were wrong for bringing up her child, period. No one is saying Shamea is perfect, but you do not bring up people's children. I agree 1,000%. I agree. Ain't nobody saying Shamea perfect. She is definitely flawed, and we've called her out this season. Okay, but you trying to justify bringing up her child, you could have brought up anything. Matter of fact, if you felt like she was cheating on her man, that should have been the first thing that you said. In all honesty, when Shamea came to you and said, oh, you can't take shots. Okay, the only shots you're able to take are the ones that, will make you get naked, bare and naked. You should have fired right back at her. You want to talk about bare and naked? Is that how you were getting when you were out here cheating on your husband? Yeah. So it's not giving that quick witted a little, but anywho, this is what Brit says in response. She says, also, I never spoke ill on any housewives in the media. I took the high road. That whore came for me in every media outlet, and I still didn't speak on her. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I can agree with that. I don't recall Brit really saying a lot. If anything, her conversations were primarily about Kelly and about Kenya. And if she said anything, she may have said something more in a direction of Kenya than anything, because that was the biggest part of the story. But even with Kelly, she was just disappointed in how Kelly showed up, and it had nothing to do with the Kenya situation. So I do think Brit is right with that part, right? I think she may have taken the high road. Okay, but a lot of that, in my personal, Brit, as far as the fans not liking you being a liar, baby, you brought that on yourself. That has nothing to do with Shamea. And this is where the issue is that you will constantly face with other women, is the lack of accountability, in my opinion, where you try to make it seem like it's everybody else and it's none of you, right? Because it is. And that's just how I feel about that. Let's keep going. So somebody says, no, Brit, when you become a mom, you will feel differently about this. I promise you will. When you come on this show, all the girls go low, but they never attack each other's children. So then Brit says, when you attack my marriage, pay people to put out gay rumors. Now that's new. Haven't heard of that. Haven't heard of that. Now, I will say that it's not far-fetched for people to pay folks to put narratives out there. And I say that based on the situation with Angela that we're seeing on television at this moment, where somebody didn't pay this man to come to the front to put these narratives out there about her husband. Okay. So ain't no telling. Right. But then I don't know if Shamea did it or not. Right. But she wants to believe that it's Shamea. I don't know, because sometimes I will say, Brit, I feel like you just say anything. So you could be doing that in this moment too. But she says, when you attack my marriage, pay people to put out gay rumors and attack my reputation, call me a fraud and tell the world I should be fired from my job, she can suck it. I just need for y'all to drop the links and the timestamps. Just give me the links and the timestamps, okay? Matter of fact, don't even put them in the comments. Just send them to my DMs because that's what I want to see, because I didn't even know she was over there attacking the reputation and calling her a fraud like that. Then also saying she should be fired. Let me know, girl. Let me know. She says, I attacked her parenting. Simple as that, okay? So I feel like if that's the case, then maybe you could have said, what kind of mother would go and have drinks in Miami, pouring it up when you should be at home checking on your family or whatever. Maybe you could have said it like that, but then to say, what about your daughter? Did your daughter? Yeah, not cool. I understand where she was coming for her as a mom. I understand where she was coming for her as a mom, but then at the same time, to insinuate that this lady is lying about her child's situation, it's crazy to me. Her daughter gonna always have medical conditions. Yes, she is improving, but you tried it. You tried it. You tried it. And I'm not even gonna hold you, Brit. I'm not gonna hold you, love. If I was Shamea, I'll be like, you had better not shown your ass up at the reunion for sure. Cause I would have wore your ass out. I'm not going to hold you. Okay. Um, That's just my personal. I feel like if you're going to attack her marriage, I'm sorry, if she's going to attack your marriage, then you fire back at her marriage. Instead, you chose to go for her parenting, so you say, and then go for the marriage, right? If you felt like she out here attacking your marriage, but in the moment she was talking about your body, right? You showing your body off to everybody, so then you should have tapped on her body count. If you felt like her body count, she out here cheating on her husband. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, for me, I can't go for that. But I did have some more. I did have some more interaction on my page. Let me see. Not on my page, but what I screenshotted of the conversation. Let me see. There was something else. I think there was one more portion. Okay, yeah. The only portion was when Britt responded to Jessie and said she doesn't get to call her a whore all season long, implied that she's an addict, bully her in every media outlet, come for her marriage, try to get the public to hate her, and all of that. Jessie Woo did respond to her, and she says, you do have a point there. I just wish you didn't bring up the baby. But I understand your point, and I really wish you went to the reunion, right? And I have to agree, right? I have to agree. I understand what you're trying to say. I see the point that you're trying to make. You're fed up. A lot of things have been spewed and said and got you believing certain things or whatever the case is. Completely understand. But I do wish you would have never brought up her daughter. And I wish you would have just shown up to the reunion. But since you did, oh well. Oh well. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Karen didn't show up to her reunion. Shoulder shrug. I feel like somebody else didn't show up to a reunion recently. Um, it is what it is. Now, I would have been upset with Karen if she wouldn't have shown up to the reunion, but then hopping online and got so much to say. You've had your chance to have what you need to say and you didn't utilize it. So go away from us, okay? But anywho, that's all that I got for you guys at this time. I just wanted to come and give you all that really quickly. I want you all to leave your thoughts and comments down below about the matter at hand between Brit, whether she was right, wrong to bring up Shamea's daughter. Do you feel like it was fair game? Do you feel like she wasn't speaking on the daughter, she was speaking on the parenting? Let me know your thoughts down below, and also tap in and let me know your thoughts about Phaedra and how she's avoiding accountability. Well, I'm not even going to say accountability because she did apologize for it at that moment, but how she's avoiding admitting what it is that she did all of those years ago, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she's still trying to separate herself from the situation, even though it'll forever be attached to her. Like, leave your thoughts below about everything. I'm Jami, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jami, that's me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Yeah, tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a praxis. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Aegis. Game time, I invade the gym, high elevated, I can face the